Thanks, Neeta. Thank you. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Anjali.
I welcome Anitha. Welcome to our show.
Thank you
Uh,
so much.
uh, are we getting a disturbance on this computer?
No, I'm clear of that. I can
Because,
hear you.
right, over here, there's a lot of background sound coming.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Let me mute when I'm not talking, so maybe that.
okay, it's much better now. And when you're speaking, then I'll mute, okay? All right, great. So wonderful. Good evening. I welcome all our viewers to this IAI3 EduTalk. It is a session where we have conversations over coffee. And I also welcome our speaker for today, Mrs. Anitha. IAI3, as you know, is International Association of Industry Institute Interface. So it is actually a meeting ground between students and the corporate world. Here we acclimatize students so that they get internalized into the corporate structure. Now, this IAI3 EduTalk has been the brainchild of our president, Dr. Neeta Parate. It was her vision. And what she really wanted to do was to provide some visibility and a platform to people who are reticent, who work behind the scenes, who have dedicated their lives to the service of humanity. They may not want to come and be part of a platform, but the only reason we do all this is so that the viewers get motivated and the viewers know whom they want to join and what kind of ideas they can get, where they can contact the government people or the bodies or anyone who is working towards the betterment of mankind. Now, of course, one such person is Mrs. Anitha, and see, during the pandemic, what had happened was lots of people, they decided to work in communities or they came out of their comfort zones and they put themselves in the hotbed of the action where the virus was running havoc. But why did they do it? What inspired them to do all that? So that is a kind of education in itself, that why does humanity want to help humanity? So pandemic, of course, sometimes it brought out the best in human beings. And on the other side, we have people who came up with startups. It has been a difficult period, 1.5 years. We had floods, we had earthquakes. Of course, the pandemic, there was an economic downturn. So people lost their jobs. Many people have died, unfortunately. But yet, people came forward and they helped each other. And not just helped, maybe one odd day, but they have dedicated their lives for the betterment of other people. So now, Mrs. Anita is one such person. So it is with deep gratitude and with honor that I introduce to you Mrs. Anita. No, Anita is based in Bangalore and she has been working in the front line. She has been working to assist COVID patients. Her greatest contribution, according to me, was to mobilize and motivate a huge workforce of volunteers. It's not easy to reach out to people, to explain to them what is their job, but she got volunteers in multiples of hundreds. And she told them that this is what we need to do. This is the group that you're in. And they all willingly came forward. Anita, of course, herself has been facing people who had actually got the disease and also helping by aligning with the government bodies, by motivating, by doing so many other things herself. So she has been a quiet hero. Now, on the professional front, Anita, she is a mindfulness practitioner and NLP expert, and she is a behavioral and soft skills trainer. She is an HR consultant. So she herself, when a building goes up and there's one story after another story, it goes higher and higher and higher. So that was the analogy I had for Anita, that the sky is the limit. Every time she's adding feathers to her cap. professionally as well as in being this front line of social service. So she has trained many participants in corporate etiquette, in leadership skills, people management, TQM, and in aligning team skills with the corporate growth. There was a lot of focus on nurturing individual talent as well as group talent. Now, Anita has been an, uh, an administrator as well as a mentor for a company or an NGO called Jobs for Her. And this body, they re-establish women who want to come back into the workforce, who have taken a sabbatical. So they get them back and align them back into doing the work that maybe they were doing earlier or something new for them. Now, she is also a joint secretary in Ekal Arogya Yojana. And this Yojana, they empower rural women. Of course, Anita has got several recommendations, certificates, awards from corporates of repute. So it is my great honor. Now, she has a mantra which says, always dream. And I think I'm going to borrow this mantra from you, Anita. And once again, I welcome you to our show. So, Anita, we would really like to know, our viewers would like to know that what was that one moment of inspiration, that one moment where you felt that you had to get up and go out there and help all the people who had been affected by COVID. Please tell us, Anita. Yes, Anita, are you able to hear us? Did your screen get frozen, Anita?
What happened, ma'am?
I think Anita's screen has got frozen, Anita.
Okay, I'll just try to call her.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, I lost you. There was an internet glitch.
No problem.
Yeah,
Welcome.
thank you so much. Yeah, so I was basically what motivated me was, you know, there was a time when I lost my mother at a very young age, and that's where I learned the importance of saving people. When you get a chance or when they are available. So, and that's where my journey started in volunteering for various causes, and working with people on the human touch. So no matter what technology or anything, until unless you have the intention or the passion to work with people and making them feel better, nothing is worth that. And God has been kind, so I've got exposure to work with beautiful people. And also, I had a very good breakthrough last year with a team of doctors and scientists and data analytics who came up to be one of the first or few, task force for COVID, and I got a great learning from them, that how you can be selfless and with keeping your contacts, and how you can actually make a difference in others' life. So it really helped me, and also my family were under the wave of COVID in the first wave. So it involves a lot of things.
So, Anita, do give us some insight into how you could get so many people to come forward to be with you. And I think it must be about close to 3,000 people who came across and said, we want to volunteer, we want to help, please tell us what we have to do.
Sure, ma'am. See, it's just that volunteering is almost everywhere, not just the private bodies, NGOs, and government bodies. You, as an individual person, can, I'm sure we all are aware, available in many of these society WhatsApp groups or Facebook groups, or we can also search certain centers where you can volunteer. So there are a lot of people who youth students to volunteer, a lot of ladies from home who can volunteer their organizations, so you can look into those. If not, you can also contact your ward office, the nodal officer, or the district officer, and Am I, yeah, so these are the few places that you can, I don't know why I'm having internet glitches, it's just getting stuck. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, so a lot of offices are there where you can reach out to them to say that you have so many number of hours, so many languages that you can speak. If you're a technical expert, or you're from the medical or a paramedical kind of a side, and how you can work with them and you can sit and figure it out. Initial stages, it might be a little bit challenging to understand how you fit the pockets, and but as it goes on, it'll be done. It's a beautiful journey.
Oh, and I'm sure it must be a lovely feeling, a lovely sense of achievement that you have been able to make a difference in somebody's life. So, Anita, now you said that you're volunteers. It wasn't just a simple, of course, that is also very important, that they help to get beds, they help to get oxygen cylinders, or they even help to get medication for the people who had COVID. But on a more deeper level, they helped to take the blood groups, and they also did platelet counts, and they did contact tracing. They did so many other things which need to be documented, need to be preserved, and also need to be kept in touch. All the people who had got in contact with the person who had COVID. So, how did you get all these people to do that kind of work?
Well, that's very interesting question, ma'am. So as I said, when since my family was under COVID, and when volunteers or the doctors used to call, I felt that they were trying to do their help, and I learned a lot from them. So what I understood in this journey with working various patients or various families who were affected in COVID is not just one person who has been affected. The moment they get tested and they get the result that they are positive, panic starts in, even though they are aware of where to go, what to do, whom to contact, whether they should isolate, or what should I do for my family members, should I get them tested, and all these questions. Even though we are well versed, even as a volunteer, we at times we call into our friends for that console. So when a person calls us saying that, ma'am, I'm infected, I've got this is my oxygen level, and then the doctor says, the telemedicine doctor says that I might need hospitalization. So we check for how far they are, which locality they are in Bangalore or any of the cities, and I try to identify the nearest hospitals, and try to connect the ambulance services to them, and they could pick up, and that is one part. And once the person is hospitalized, we get the message saying, ma'am, finally we got to hospital, he's been admitted. The journey doesn't stop there. We try to probe their attenders, their family members, saying that, have you been tested, do you have any symptoms on this, are they children, are they elderly people? So also it would be nice if you could just educate them, or let them be aware of what are the precautions that they can do at home, isolate, fumigation, or disinfect the house, or even inform their office or inform their colleagues, basic grocery things. So because it's not just one day, it's a journey of almost 21 days to 1 month till the person is discharged from the hospital and he comes back, and the people he has been in contact at home, if you can just have that, kind of a touch with them, and you could try to understand that they are also okay. Many families earlier, we had, the government used to put a label or a poster saying that they are COVID positive, and they could not go to buy groceries, diapers, or any even essentials who have kids or elderly people. So what we started doing is we used to take their address, find out teams who are working on food. There are a lot of people who distributed free of cost food for the COVID affected patients all 3 times. And in fact, there were people who were very specific about veg, non-veg, garlic, or even child-friendly food, or easy to digest, protein kind of food. So there were a lot of picky eaters also, but yes, the challenges were met. Most of the ladies did a dynamic work in their food distribution. They started cooking at home, and batters, dosa batters, ready-made chapatis, which they could just heat and eat, and eat. So these are the kind of innovative ways people started connecting, and food, medicines, grocery items, everything was delivered to them at the doorstep, and we made sure that they are taken care of, and all the contact tracing is also falls in place. We used to find out where all this person has gone, and it's a complete managing of the whole family, and then not only giving them what they call us for.
That's right, Anita. And then, this was a hitherto unknown virus. We didn't know how this coronavirus was going to spread. What was the nature of the disease? But then, when I was speaking to you, you were telling me that you also got to train and speak to some sewage cleaners. So, how did you manage to do that?
Well, ma'am, since I was, was with the team who worked on the research of COVID, and also the nodal officers, health officers, there were war rooms set in every ward of the cities. So war rooms which under every corporator and officials in that particular area. So the war room main issue was to take care of the human waste disposals of masks, the medical wastes in the residential areas, not to throw masks or needles or syringes. Many of them are taking home treatment, so those medical waste also should be handled. So the people who clean the road, whom we call Paura Karmikas, because they are the ones that our city is clean, and they need to be taken care of. So educating them on their self guard, vaccinating them, and also giving them essential equipments like masks and hand gloves and long rubber boots, and also make sure that the manholes are cleaned with the jetting machine, not a person to physically do that. So these are something that, as a citizen, as a residential society, we can definitely watch out in our neighborhood and try to pitch in, then help them out, and also let them know that they are doing a great job for us. So we had to tell them that you could wash your hands. By the time they finished, we had kept a bucket or things like that, that they could wash their hands any point of time, or soap, and disinfectant. At the end of the row houses, one house used to have sanitizers, the next house used to have a place where they could wash and sit for some time. So these are something that people started looking around. We were so busy with our mechanical life. Once a lockdown came, people started noticing another human being's behavior, what they are doing, and what is happening around you.
That's right, because this was a virus which was not going to spare anyone. So, in a way, we all became equals. And also, the best part was that as a country, we all came together and we fought this disease. And now, from the pandemic, it has been declared an epidemic. So, is there any way that your volunteers could create awareness for wearing masks and social distancing, sanitizing, because now there's a festival season and people have to go and get material for their pujas, but at the same time, there's a lot of crowding. So, is there anything that you can suggest your volunteers can do? Or, of course, we can also do.
Sure, ma'am, it will be a pleasure. Well, I got to work with excellent minds. My friend, who we started working on the awareness campaign since last year, where we did share a lot of government flyers in different languages, Tamil, Kannada, Hindi, Marathi, Bengali, where we could just start sharing in parents groups or friends groups and ask them to share the awareness. That was one process we have been doing. And mask up campaigns in Bangalore city, in the ward wise, we used to go on the streets with a lot of banners and tell people that that is your only kavacham, like Karna had in Mahabharata. So that is something that you're going to need it for a longer time. Do wear your masks and maintain social distancing, and washing hands and sanitize is something that you got to keep it in a routine along with your grooming sessions. The moment you step out, you just don't wear your slippers or your shoes, but make sure that you have them in your hand and in your pocket. And also, and the good point that you brought it up is that we need to go out since the festival seasons are here, and irrespective of the offices are also opening. So one thing we can definitely look forward, because and the people who are not vaccinated at home, there are still many people who are yet to be vaccinated. Could be children, could be youngsters or middle-aged people or senior citizens who are bedridden, who could contaminate even if they're have been vaccinated. So simple things what we can do is, the moment you enter your home, you can have your sanitizer at the entrance of the door and leave your footwear at the side, and or even have a small bucket or a soap just to wash in, and let your children inform that the moment they come in, they don't just come and hug you, because that's a tentative. Kids would love their parents to run and come, that though it's tempting, but make sure that you handle the clothes and your attire which you've gone out, put them for wash once you're back home, and do maintain social distancing when you're outside, washing your vegetables or fruits, whatever. Do not eat them raw, even whether it's COVID or non-COVID. Hygiene factors for kids and eating fruits and vegetables should be there. A proper diet to be maintained, and when you're at the in the out in the open, in the marketplaces, please do remember that your family needs you. You're important to them, you're irreplaceable, and that's what someone told me too. So everyone are important in our family, and we are the only versions of what we are. So please take care of the COVID situation, and make sure that you're not the carrier to the people who love you or to the society. So social distancing, mask up, and sanitizing should be something or priority always.
And this Indian system, we have the Indian system of having haldi, turmeric milk, and then such a lot of sanskar which have been given to us by our grandparents. Would you like to speak a little bit about that, Anita?
Sure, my pleasure. Well,
Yes.
I'm a person of old school and old tradition, though I believe in foreign medicine and technologies. Yes, our Indian culture has been always given us a learning of taking care of the precautions than the cure. So we have always, had haldi doodh as moms used to have in the moment we got cold and cough. So yes, they have the scientific importance. So though we may not be able to understand, like washing our feet before entering a house was the tradition when my grandparents were there. We were not supposed to lift or touch a child the moment you come from outside. So all these things are in our Indian culture, and that's something that we can definitely pick up. And also, with the family bonding, there are a lot of micro families which are coming up. If we could just look back how we were brought up, can make a lot of learning. So yes, we do have rich herbs, and right now Ayush Yojana and all are definitely playing a lot of importance in the medicine industry, along with the allopathy and vaccination. There's no doubt. But prevention as home, you could use your general medicines and herbs based on your locality and your tradition, pepper, ginger, garlic, whatever which you are okay with your diet. And yes, please consult your doctor before you do that. He's a person that you're going to run to, not the one who suggested. So before you do any kind of change in your diet or any kind of new implementations for having your immunity boosters, please do speak to your doctors respectively according to your age, according to your low-lying health issues. And they're the best guide for that. So yes, I do believe India is a rich country with very beautiful practices.
That's right. And Anita, there's you must have seen at first hand this horrors of death, horrific situations where people lost their only earning member, where people were not able to even sustain themselves and they got COVID. And so, how did you deal with that emotional factor, not only for yourself, but people went into depression? And so, do you have some kind of help for people who are depressed? Anita, I just wanted to ask you, this end of your earphones, has it been plugged in, dear?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it clear?
because I
Is
think
it
now
clear?
the
Yeah.
disturbance seems to have gone now,
Oh,
right?
beautiful. No, it's fine. It's
It's fine.
I didn't have anything from my end.
Oh, okay, okay, that's great. So thank you so much, Anita. So did you be this emotional upheaval which came in after seeing so much of death and situations which were they seem to be unsolvable. So how did you deal with that?
Well, ma'am, that's no matter how much I say, it'll never patch up. But we saw lives just go within an hours. Within hours in the morning, we are trying to get them a hospital bed, or we are trying to help them with some sort of medical help. And the moment we call them back with the help required, they are no more. They declare dead, or the pulses were dropping very fast. The oxygen saturation level were dropping very fast. It was something that they were falling, like when you use your insecticides or pesticides, you see the insects just falling off. It was like
Yes.
that. The situations in hospitals, we could see bodies lying down, one after the other. And the second wave was very terrific, with all youngsters and people who are even not even 35 or even 30, people who are 15 years, 18 years. We experienced a lot of loss. In fact, a lot of volunteers who were working used to break down emotionally. They started crying. They saying, maybe I'm not lucky to that person, maybe I'm not able to, I was not able to get on time the help.
Yes.
So every volunteer definitely understands the importance of response time. So if a
Yes.
person has come in for a help, they definitely have to respond to them as soon as possible, or at least let the patient know that they cannot, help, or they're seeking help, and also they let them know that please try other place simultaneously. And we kind of, as we were working together, each one of us learned a lot to kind of handle the situation. So we created a lot of groups. We were in a lot of groups. I'm into area suraksha mitra, community policing, very serious group. And I had my own humanity volunteers, where I had people from all ages, political, non-political, government bodies, individuals. And my ladies work from home group played a dynamic role. I can never thank those ladies. They were there to support 24 bar 7. And there are a lot of other volunteers who had their own NGOs, were
Yes.
ready at the call of the moment. I just had to call and say, Bhaiya, there is a requirement. Can you handle it? Didi, please do. I will do. Give me the number, give me the contact, I will do. And this was not just limited to Bangalore city or just Karnataka, but
Right.
Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Delhi, and even with the flood areas, Bihar and other places. We just had to share the requirement, and these volunteers did magic. and they were the prince charm everybody would love to have in your family. I got to see the first hand experience these people dedicated. Few went there wearing the PPE kits to personally pick up the patients. I know because there are a lot of people who had come down to Bangalore for work and they were staying
Yes.
in paying guests or single rooms, and it was a very sad situation. Their saturations were going down. They couldn't sit up. They just had their wallet near them, their phone near them. Many of them didn't even eat food for many days. So I have personally spoken to such people, and it was so heartbreaking to see that they have left their families there just to work and earn, and the current virus brought them to
Yes.
such a situation. But trust me, ma'am, the volunteers never thought about anything. They went home to this person's place and they were in PP kits. They made sure the office had some arrangement made for the finance. They took
Right.
him there, they admitted and informed the parents. And once he got discharged, even arranged for him to be, get back to his house
Yes.
and things like that. And it was very, very, very difficult, but we got to work with beautiful people, and we kind of few people even strategized saying that this person is going to work for the blood requirement platelet, and few people are going to work for the for ambulances. Few people are going to work for food distribution. Few people are going to work for community policing to make sure the
Yes.
waste agreement. So we identify the people who were actually specialized into these volunteering and who could take the ownership and get back to us. That was very important. And there's no organization or no other time in your life you would have seen people getting down and ready to work no matter who they are.
Yes. Yes.
We
Yes.
never knew. Even now, I've not met 90% of my volunteers, but we speak on phone or we
Right.
just message as if we have known for ages. That love, that passion in people to do the difference, youngsters or elderly people, the IITians, the old IITians, people who were from MIT, who had great team with the different states. It was a huge human network. and
Yes.
and we
That's
have already, yes ma'am, that we were only heard in stories, but when you actually saw the difference, things being on the executable level, I would thank virus for teaching people to be more human.
more human. Yes. I think that's a wonderful thing to say. And this kind of service is so selfless.
Yes ma'am.
Yeah. And
And 24 bar
literally,
7, they were ready any point of time. Their number, we even had shared our numbers so that people could get in callers in case they need language wise assistance, area wise. It was beautiful. It is beautiful.
beautiful. It's really beautiful. It's a transformational experience.
True.
And of course, because of the nature of the disease, you probably couldn't meet 90% of the volunteers. That's absolutely understandable. Now, Anita, taking the benefit of your experience, eh, first thing that we are so overwhelmed to listen to a person like you who has actually been a COVID warrior, who's been just out there in the thick of what was uh, going on, the sadness, the grief, the horror. So, your experience now, we've been through the first wave, the second wave, there has been a Delta Plus variant. Do you feel that there is a light at the end of the tunnel? I know that
uh,
you're not a person who makes predictions, or
right.
it's something to give humanity some hope. One
Uh,
cannot predict the way things move, but the
True,
awareness
true,
that has been
definitely.
created, the vaccinations drives that have gone on.
Well, as you said, I may not be able to predict, but yes, we all pray hard. Each one of us pray hard that the third
Yes,
wave doesn't hit, because most probably they say it's the kids or people who are sensitive, who are having low-lying health issues. Let us prepare. I
Right.
would say precautionaries would definitely be there. But yes, good news is that by December we're expecting children 12 years plus to be vaccinated. The
Yes.
trial
Yes.
runs are going on, and
Yes.
hopefully we have it in the large number. The manufacturing unit should be able to do the wonders, taking the right sensex of the population and making sure that they are being met with data analytics team and ward level nodal officers, health officers having an anticipation of what are the kind of population they hold, whether it's senior citizens, elders, or people from the slum areas who need more help, the BPL poverty level people,
Right.
or if you're, what kind of population you're dealing with. If they
Yes.
could do it in ward level, then
Yes.
it'll be easy to maintain the surge, or at least be able to tack if there are any, spikes around. So I know we just wish that we are more
Right.
equipped with the right medicines for children, ma'am.
A little preparedness, right?
Yes, yes. So only prayers is we don't get, but yeah, it can be solved soon, maybe another year and a half. So, as far as the whole India and the whole population has been vaccinated, yet maintain the social distancing and basic um,
Hygiene.
disciplinary
Yes.
act.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Yes, that's right. And then you have been a volunteer for this ASM community policing and worked and voiced your opinion on many COVID factors, aspects with the ward level and the
yes,
government
ma'am.
bodies and worked closely with them. So, can you tell us a little about that and some insights, and also how common people like us we can work with the government for in their relief measures?
Yes, ma'am.
Please
Definitely.
share
I
with
would be,
us.
I'd be more than glad to do that. Actually, I've been promoting people to work on voluntary basis, not
Yes,
just with the pandemic, but also when there's flood relief, and many are doing. The thing is that they wait for an NGO to come up, or they wait for some sort of
yes,
an
yes,
announcement to come up. So don't
yes,
wait. Don't wait. You be the NGO, you be the person, because you are equipped with all the knowledge. The will to do is more than enough. You have the powerful engines like Google and mobile phone where you can connect with a lot of people. Just put a search in, put in a lot of words, phrases like volunteering, society help, or youth, or ladies help, or there are a lot of initiatives which people are starting up, and you could bring in your idea too. And as I said earlier, definitely you can reach out to your local police stations and see if they are having any concepts of community policing. There are a lot of people who have been doing on traffic community policing, where you're given your uniforms, you're given ID cards, just that to make sure that you go hand in hand with the authorities. The
yes.
authorities alone cannot reach every place, so you are
Sure, of
available in
course.
that place and you take the responsibility. It is your home, it is your society, and that's what is going to reflect upon. They are like the mirror of what you are. And yeah, we do have seen people saying that I'm doing the perfect job, but people are not coming up. The government is not doing. Do voice it out. Do voice it out the right channel, right platform, the right words, because even though your intentions are right, but using your aggressiveness or using the wrong words could project a negative thought. So do make sure that you are trying to convey the right mode, or the right intention, that you want to help, and help is all around us. I believe that's how Sonu Sood also started, in big time, and now he's a hero in everybody's heart. So there are a lot
Yes.
of Sonu Soods who are there in Chennai flood, when we had the tsunami, when we had the Bihar flood.
Cyclones.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes.
So we had a lot of volunteers, lot of people, doctors, college students, senior citizen associations who were cooking food, who could not go out. They were doing food distribution. So you can just think innovatively, explore. Maybe money is not the only thing that you need to contribute. Your
Yes.
time, your knowledge, and your contacts. Reach out to people. That's more than enough. We have
That's right.
WhatsApps, we have Telegrams, where you just have to ask. So if you want to volunteer, just ask, and there are a lot of us to help you on board.
Oh, sure, of course. And see, the government is doing a lot.
Yes, ma'am.
The kind of vaccination drives we've had, and they've in a single day vaccinated crores of people. So the population and the country is so big that for them to make an impact, it takes a little time. So if
Yes.
the citizens come up and help them, I'm sure it will help a lot.
Yes, ma'am. That's how we also worked with the ward officers, try to create vaccination drives to identify the vegetable vendors, domestic helpers, auto
Yes,
rickshaw people, because that's a livelihood. So we may not help them in employability, but definitely we can help them in their health and awareness kind. So we did a lot of initiatives trying to connect with people with different organizations, name it Rotary or individual, or even at the hospitals,
yes.
volunteering, collecting people who wanted, and saying that they are the ones who need the free vaccines, and who could afford a paid vaccine, please get them done. So there are a lot of initiatives, and all the volunteers are my gurus. I can never thank each one of them who taught me these methods, and where I'm able to teach other new volunteers how they can make a difference.
Sure. Yes, yes, I do know that organizations like the Rotary and the Lions and JCs, they've done so much of good work.
Yes, ma'am.
And I've heard of them, I've read about it, I've seen it on the TV. So everybody is trying to pitch in. So as you
Yes.
said, we all need to get up and do our bit. And
Absolutely.
so,
There are a lot of platforms like Janagraha, which are in Karnataka. So it was basically from I Change My City initiative by Mr. Srinivas, who
yes,
gave opportunities for citizens like us, where we could voice out and say that, hey, government, we are ready to work with you. Show us the right channel,
yes.
guide us what to do. We are ready to do on field, technology base, or even from home, calling up people and contact tracing, or anything, any little bit of time or any little bit of help that we can do. uh, Definitely makes a difference, because
Oh, yes.
volunteering is like a ripple effect. In a calm sea or a calm water, one single drop can create a lot of ripples.
Lots of
So
waves. Oh, yes,
yes,
of
so
course.
you need to be that one single drop to make a lot of people turn around and see what it means.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. Very beautifully put. And now, Anita, you are a powerhouse of skills and knowledge, talent, experience. I'm so impressed and I'm so happy to be associated with you. Now, please share with us, how do you maintain a work-life balance?
That's a challenging question, like yeah. Since being in jobsforher.com and being catering to a lot of ladies as an ambassador and mentor, that is the first thing I felt as a woman. I'm not being biased here, I'm sorry, boys.
Quite
And
true.
that we have a lot of things on our plate, and having a work life balance is definitely a everyday challenge. And having kids at home, being the referee most of the time, their education, their daily needs, and your livelihood, your earning, what brings a food to
Absolutely.
the
Of
table.
course. Yes.
So all that matters, and thankfully I have been freelancing for the last 6 to 7 years.
Right. Right.
Right, so which gave me an opportunity to work as and when I can get the opportunities, and when I'm ready to do things. And freelancing has I've created like a system or a day-to-day timetable slot, so
Yeah.
where I allocate the home chores, and then some time with the kids for their education, then my work, and then with the volunteering. And volunteering, of course, sometimes it becomes 24 by 7 on phone.
That's
So
true.
the mindset, the will to do, and when you have the passion, Anjali, which never
Yes,
really lets
it's
you know.
correct.
Yeah,
It's like an energy pill. It keeps you moving,
yes.
your passion. I think,
Yes, it doesn't seem like a as a block. Yeah, there are sometimes that you need to recharge, and that's
sure.
where your family, friends, and that one particular go-to person or whoever is there, just go and snuggle up.
Of course, and we are so fortunate to have family support. That's
Yeah,
where that's the reason we are where we are.
true,
In
very true.
whatever form or gravity or depth or anything, it's because of the family.
True. And
Uh,
also, me time is very important, which I realized me time can be anything, right? From your studies, or you want to work, or even you want to do a research on your work. So, that particular time can be meditation, can be yoga. Yes, meditation has definitely helped me a lot at the last 1 year to stay focused, grounded, and not break myself emotionally. Because I deal with a lot of people on the COVID, where we had a small initiative
yeah.
as emotional first aid, where we used to call the patients, and they used to book an appointment with us, call the patients to help them recover the anxiety, the fear factor, and also to an extent we had a wonderful team, a dietitian, a yoga person, who worked in their own fields for the same cause.
Yes.
So
Yes.
so we were called the emotional first aid, and we could reach out to a few. I've lost count, I don't know. so,
That's
so
right.
so when I used to be there coaching them to handle their emotional stress, anxiety, and also the fear factor, whether I'm going to see my family back, whether medicines is going to do good, whether my oxygen level is going there, the hospital environment, etc. I had people, even pregnant women, who were positive and with the due dates just a 2 to 3
Yes.
days, and
Yes.
a few people were going to the C-section. The kind of fear that they had nobody to talk. um, by God's grace, I could speak to few people who just breathed their last.
It just,
Few
oh,
people, yeah, few people who could come back and say thanks for listening to me, because that at that moment, when you have someone, uh, it makes a world of difference, that you
oh,
know that
yes. Oh,
you're
yes.
wanted. Yeah, and I know, to overcome those, definitely meditation has helped me, and my beautiful friends who have been praying for me, who have
Yes.
healed me also. I know a lot of people from Neeta ma'am students. They are beautiful people. I know it will not be fair on my part to name one or two. All of them are beautiful family out there. Know
Of
the
course
whole
you can.
batch.
This is a family show. You can name your
Yes,
friends, and Neeta ma'am
yes.
has been good to me
Oh
to such an
yes,
extent.
I agree, Neeta ma'am. We have Swati, we have Priya, we have Megha, Paulsa, Kiran, and many more people who have inspired and whom I could reach out when I broke down or when I needed help. And my dear friends, Suman, Priya, Ajay, and and of course my volunteers. I have a long list, about 1,000 plus volunteers pan India. They just took care of me also. So it was just helping each other. Human touch was very beautiful, and I really loved working. So each day is
Yes.
a challenge on work-life balance, but you have a passion for it, just go and do it out.
Yes, that's right. That's absolutely. And Anita, thank you so much because this has been such an emotional experience for me too, to listen to your first-hand experiences. And when you said the next time you called up someone, he or she had already
Yeah.
gone from this world, or a person delivering a child and has COVID, it must have been so, you fall into the pits, like you
Yes.
fall into the depths of despair. So dealing with people like that, it has made you, I think, much stronger as a human being.
Yes, ma'am. In fact, at least I got to work from home and on field few time. In Bangalore, we had few friends who actually did the mortuary work. Their families who had expired and they were not aware. These people selflessly went, packed the bodies, sanitized the house, and did the last rituals too. So right from helping in delivery to the mortuary final work, medicine, food, water, and emotional support, people are ready to do, and volunteers are ready to take. So
The
they are the great
fact,
heroes.
yes,
Yes.
yes, the fact that they want to do it, it
Yes.
brings tears to our eyes.
Oh, it was very emotional, ma'am. I couldn't sleep. The people, we used to get calls in midnight, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, saying that my mother's not well, my father's not well. Could you help us reach out to the hospital? The ambulance is not there, so we had to look for alternative. As I said, many volunteers took their vehicles, bikes, autos, cars, whatever they could, to take the person home. So we just did whatever we would need or expect if it was our family, and of course, it is our family as a society.
It is, of course, definitely. And Anita, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming on our show, and your experiences as a COVID warrior. They have opened up our eyes. Now we all
Thank you,
need to
ma'am.
get out there. We all need to help. We all need to be human, love humanity.
Yes,
So, thank you so much. And we are going to reach out to you for guidance and for help and motivation
anytime,
and any
anytime.
kind of inadequacies we might have in doing social service. So we are going to call on your
Sure, sure.
experience and
Sure,
great.
ma'am. Actually, even now I'm working with Red Dot as a counselor for domestic violence. So anything on kind of women welfare, volunteership, emotional coaching, counseling, please feel free to us.
Of course, it will be my pleasure. And I would like to lovely conversation with you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you
And
so
I do
much.
hope that you will come on our show many, many times.
God's grace and thanks to Neeta, ma'am, and to you, definitely. Would love to talk.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. And I hope to see you soon again, Anita.
Thank you so much, Anjali. Thank you, Neeta, ma'am. Thank you for the whole team.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Really, you're welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
In fact, gratitude to you.
Well, gratitude to the lovely people that I've met in my life till now, who have taught me and who have showed me the ways of life. So more
Sure.
than more than anything, a person's life is more important. Other things have a chance. Time and a person's
Yes,
life
yes.
cannot come back.
And maybe you brought out the best in them, Anita.
Sure, ma'am. I hope so.
It was really amazing. Really, it was amazing.
Thank you, ma'am.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having
Thank you, ma'am.
the time to come and speak to us.
Thank you for this. Take care, ma'am.
So, in conclusion, again, I thank you very much for coming on our show, sharing with us, being with us, and motivating us.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Anita.
It's my
Thank you.
pleasure.
Thank you, Anita ji. It was wonderful actually to know your experience. Really,
Thank
I
you, ma'am.
got blessed to have you here because you are a superhero and you have done a lot for society and contributed very positively. So I really proud of you for all your work, whatever you have done, and you are really blessed.
Thank you,
So
ma'am.
my best wishes to you. And
Thank
if
you,
you
ma'am.
guys require, please let us know. So
Definitely,
we may
definitely.
also.
Your trainings had made a lot of impact and gave me the courage to go out there. That I cannot deny that. It will not be fair on my part.
Gratitude, yes, gratitude for that. Thank you so
Gratitude,
much.
ma'am.
Chalo
Thank you.
then, should we conclude?
Yes, yes. So, our
Yeah.
speaker for next week is going to be a person called Mr. Sunil Bahirat, and he is a transformational coach, and he's almost a spiritual guru. So it will be nice for all of us, our viewers, and everybody associated with this show to listen to him. And just as we listen to Anita, and again, look forward to see you. Thank you, Anita. Thank you, Neeta ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Bye
Namaste.
bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Take
Namaste.
care.
Bye.